In response to the claim that the United States should legally recognize same-sex marriage, our opponent says that affirmative claims that it is unconstitutional for the same-sex couples to be deprived of liberty of being married. The word liberty on the 14th Amendment, however, is not completely unrestricted, and marriage must be defined with limitations. For instance, I cannot just say, well, I'm going to shoot you, and then I'm expressing my liberty of shooting someone, because I will be prosecuted by doing so. And you may say, well, that is against, you're killing someone, so that's a bigger level. But indeed, there is other types of people who would claim that they have a strong commitment to someone, and that someone is not within the definition of what we consider to be a normal marriage, and that actually could not constitute as such. People who do, for instance, polygamy, or who do pedophilia, could allegate these things. Polygamy, for instance, is illegal in 50 states. That's from Hagerty 2010. Most states also forbid incestuous relations, except for Rhode Island, which is actually interesting, and offer penalties ranging from 5 years imprisonment to life imprisonment, such in states such as Georgia, Alabama, and Mississippi. And pedophilia is all around not accepted. So, and in fact, it's a crime to do it with children. So, what makes us think that because these people are saying such a thing, that other people will also have the right to do that? They can also claim that they want to love each other. Also, our opponent says that she lists a case of a person who was denied rights to the hospital because they were in a domestic partnership. And several states, this is how they can exercise civil unions without having to redefine marriage. In several states, civil union is legally recognized as a form of partnership similar to marriage, and affords the couple the same rights, protections, and benefits, and the same responsibilities, obligations, and duties under federal law, and that comes from Family Code for 2014. Now, our affirmative claims that it is hypocritical of religious people to use the Bible to justify same-sex marriage as immoral if the Bible restricts other activities that are commonly done by heterosexual couples. First of all, I would like to point out that this doesn't support the main claim, because we are speaking about how the United States should legally recognize the same-sex marriage. And although our Constitution does say a nation under God, it is clearly defined a distinction between church and state on our First Amendment. It says, Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, prohibition of the free exercise thereof. Since the main claim is seeking to legalize it, then we shouldn't bring the Bible into play. But since my opponent wants to get down and dirty, let's bring in some of this good stuff from the Bible. Just because heterosexuals are breaking some stuff such as eating pork, it doesn't mean that same-sex marriage is acceptable by the Bible. In fact, there's several verses that forbid it, and one of them even would condemn it so much that it would suggest to put the person to death. From Leviticus 8:22, I get, "You shall not lie with a male as one lies with a woman. It is an abomination." Now, my opponent said that there was no definition for homosexuality back in those days. I guess it all depends on what the definition of lie means, right? Right. If there is a man who lies with a male, this comes from Leviticus 20:13, once again, lies with a male, as those who lie with a woman, both have committed a detestable act. they shall surely be put to death. Their bloodguiltiness is upon them. Now, my affirmative claims that same-sex marriage will better the economy of the nation. There's no saying that there won't be a significant, in fact, she doesn't even use the word significant. Let me quote her. She uses the word slightly positive impact in the nation. And I cannot refute that because it is indeed very slight. The population of homosexuals in America and throughout the world comprises about 2 to 3%. Now, if they start getting married, is that going to take us out of the deficit? It seems like it's not. The new economic pool created by same-sex marriage will not be significant enough to make a change. The new pool is too small. In European countries where it is more popular, because there's countries who actually accept gay marriage, the same-sex marriage has been active longer than in the U.S. And U.S. constitute only about 2 to 3% of all marriages in a single year. That comes from Charming 2011. Levels of same-sex marriage are also down to decrease. When they were accepted here in certain states, Connecticut and Massachusetts, they started at 24% and declined within a year to 9%. And in Connecticut, it was 18% when it started, and it dropped down to 4%. Now consider that there's other people who are coming from other states, so these numbers are inflated. Permitting same-sex marriages on a national level will actually interfere with the negative business with other countries who oppose same-sex marriage. By permitting same-sex marriage, the state gives an official stamp of approval to homosexuality. It creates challenges for business and non-governmental organizations with foreign countries that oppose same-sex marriage. As you can see, my opponent has some good claims to make, but they are all very diminished once I have spoken.